Okay guys, so this is pretty much done. Hopefully if you guys followed on, yours looks something like this. Maybe it looks a little better. I told you guys about blocking squares, so right now it looks a little bit wonky, but don't worry about it. We will fix that once we put the border on. I think I'm going to put a border on because otherwise we'd be done, right? You got to weave in your ends. Now I wove in my ends pretty much as I went along, but I still have the last end from the very last round plus the black border around each one, right? So there's a beginning and an end to those that need to be woven in. So what you need to do in this part, what is this, 3? Is this 3? No, 4. Weave in your ends. I promise you, you should have been doing this all along or else you're gonna have, how many did we say? 12, 14 ends to weave in each block because of all the different colors. Unless you did, well, either way, when you switch out colors, you have to weave in the ends. So even if you only did 2 colors or 3 colors, you're still going to have that many ends. So please do it. I just saw a video of a gal, she was showing her blanket stack, which was really pretty. That's why I watch it. I love watching people, what they did or what they've done. And she turned it over and it was big enough for like a queen bed and it had all the ends still. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's like, you're never going to go back and do it. She said she made it 8 years ago and it still has all those ends, right? So make sure to weave in your ends. Really make sure that when you do your center, the little end in the center is fastened really well. You don't want this opening up later and just completely opening up so it's going to mess up your whole design. So this center one is always super important. If you don't think it's right, I would take like a color of fabric or yarn, that color like red, I would put it on a needle, go back in through here and tie it real well, just to reinforce it because you don't want these opening up. And sometimes with a magic circle that happens. So if you do a magic circle, really make sure you weave in that end really well, like all the way around and tie it. Like I mentioned that, but I just want to make sure that that's clear. And then what we're going to do is a really simple border. It's just going to be like kind of lacy, just all around. And you can do more granny squares. You can start, in the corner, just the way we've been doing. Do a granny cluster corner, cluster, cluster, cluster all the way across, all the way around. Use different color, go around the whole thing, however you like. But I just was like, well, I'm kind of done making grannies. And so what we're going to do is a really, really simple border that's just chain stitches. Super easy, you guys. And hopefully you'll like it. If you don't, finish it however you like. There's lots of borders you can do. So this will be easy. Let's go to our table and we will finish it up. Okay guys, before I came up here, I saw on the news that another ship came in to Florida with people with flu-like symptoms. Why are people still going on cruises right now? My word, it's been months since this thing's been going around, especially on cruise ships. Don't go on a cruise, guys. I know they're fun. They're inexpensive. I've been on, a couple Disney cruises and one Carnival one just because it was cheap and I wanted to take my brother and my sister-in-law, so we went real quick in between Christmas and New Year's. But that was years ago and I'll probably never take one again. But anyway, be safe, be well, take care of yourselves, do things that are practical and smart, please. Okay, so I'm going to start with black it's going to make that border real thick. If you don't want to do a black border, to begin with and just go into the colors because I'm going to do rainbow order, probably starting with the red and then orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Then do whatever you like. It's your blanket. But I am going to start with a foundation of black. So this first foundation, it's going to be the same. They're all going to be the same, what we're going to do right now. But just add it wherever you want. You don't even have to add it in a corner. You can add it on the side. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to add it in a corner because I'm used to just going to a corner. I'm going to bring in my loop, of course, slip stitch. And the first thing we're going to do here is a single crochet. I'm going to go ahead and take both ends just so there's less and I know it's really in there. I'm going to do a single crochet. So just real basic in that same chain 2 space. We're going to do a single crochet. It shouldn't be this tight, it's just that I'm using both loops from the ends. And I'll let that loop go. And then we're going to chain 1, 2, 3 just to keep it the same. You can chain 2 because we're going to chain 2 corner, but I'm going to keep it the same as chaining 3. So now another single crochet in that same little space, okay? So now we made like a little loop. And all we're going to do, and we're going to do this the same in every round. Oops, chain 1, 2, 3. Skip all of these double crochets, right? We're still in that corner, that granny corner, and we're going to go into that chain 1 space that we have from before. So, single crochet, chain 1, oopsie, do that again. This was easier when I'm sitting down. I'm standing up and not holding this the way I would have this on my lap. 1, 2, 3, single crochet in that next chain 1 space. This is it. Do this loosely though. 1, 2, 3. You don't want it super tight. If you do it tight, and then it's gonna see the chain 3 is almost as wide as that space of the 3 double crochets. So you want it to be just as wide. You don't want it to be like super tight. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet in the chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to do the whole thing because this is going to take forever to show you guys, but I am going to show you the next spot. 1, 2, 3. So when you get to the end, single crochet in the chain 1 space, you're going to have the spaces that look like this, right? Where there's 2 corners touching each other. So all I did here, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and right in between where they hold on to each other, you're gonna have a little space, right? So here's a corner, here's a corner. In this space is where we put our single crochet. If you wanted to, you can do 3, put the single crochet in the granny corner, in that corner, do another 3 and put the other one in this corner, but I feel like that's too much. So for me, I just wanted it to kind of hold it together and make it nice and uniform, so I don't want to give it extra space that wasn't there before. So 3, now again, in the next single crochet. And this is also what a border does. It squares up your blanket. Now, if you were blocking your squares, like I had mentioned, which I never ever have done in my life, your blanket would be nice and square already because you block your squares. And you can look that up. It's basically just ironing the squares, pulling them out nice and square. And some people have a board and it's like has like little pegs or whatever. Then you iron it so that it's like perfectly 7 inches square is what it was, right? Plus 1 more would make it 8 inches. So when you had this last border before you did the black, you would block them. I'm not at all that particular about anything that has to do with crochet. And I've never made clothes other than like for the baby, so it's not my thing. But 1, 2, 3. And you just keep going all the way around. I'll come back when I'm at the next corner, which is basically the same thing, but I'll come back there and then that will be basically the same thing. So hopefully you can see there's just like a little chain hanging around at the top of each of these guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just gotten to the next corner and simple enough. Again, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the that chain 1 space, and I'll quickly show you a single crochet again just in case you're new, but like I said, I have other tutorials and there's so many tutorials out there that are better than mine. But okay, single crochet, you go into the space, you yarn over, pull up that loop, so you have 2 loops here, and then you're going to yarn over from the back and pull through both of those loops, and that's a single crochet. And if you're watching British people, they call that a double crochet, which is odd because what's a single? Like, I guess just a slip stitch? I don't know, because that's kind of weird. To me, this is obviously single crochet, that's what we call it. Double, you do it twice. Triple, you do it 3 times, and that's your triple. So they call a single double, then treble. And then I don't know what they call it. The longest one, I forget. But anyway, it's kind of different. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, right? We're going to go into that corner space, that little chain 2 space that we had. Single crochet. We're going to chain 1, 2, 3. We're going to stay in that same space and do another single crochet, just like at the beginning. So it's a tight little loop here, but that loop is going to make your corners, and you're going to keep going. Then we have 1, 2, 3, and now I'm working up the other side, along the other side. And that's all we're going to do, the whole thing. And I'll be back at the very end just to show you to join it, but basically you're going to join it at the top of your first single crochet from the very beginning, but I'll be back. So I'm not even done with that first row yet. I'm almost done. I was going to go back and show you guys, but I just wanted to show you what a border does for you. It kind of like just brings it together, you know? And then again, if you iron it, you're going to see that it's much better, but you guys saw kind of how wonky it was before, but that border just kind of brings it all in, brings it nice and tight. So anyway, let's finish this up. Okay guys, so doing this took me about, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe, maybe a little bit more, but I was watching videos, watching TV, getting distracted. But we're right back at the end, or at the beginning, right? So let me do my last chain 1, whoopsie, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm just going to slip stitch. You can stitch it into that same space, that soft spot, but I do want to kind of get into that first single crochet just to finish it off a little bit nicer. But it'd be easier if you just slip stitch it into that chain space. So especially because I use both layers of yarn, if you guys recall, so I have to get through both of those layers and slip stitch. So it's just there. And I'm going to cut this off, leaving plenty to weave in. And pull it. So that is our first, obviously we need to weave that in. Our first round that all we did was add those little chain 3s. So now go with the next color. Again, if you want to single crochet, not single crochet, do granny crochets all around, it'd be really cute. You would just, and if I was going to do this, I would just go ahead and go into the red or whatever the color you want to use. I wouldn't do it black granny crochet all around because we already did that, right? So I would go in here, 3 double crochet cluster, chain 1, 3 double crochet cluster, keep going, do the same thing that you always did in the corner, which is 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, 3 double crochet cluster, and then work the other side the same. So you would have granny stitches all around that bring your blanket together. And then go to the next color, or however you want it, however big you want to go. If you want to use all 6 colors, if you just want to stop after, you know, a round of red, whatever it is you want to do. So now I'm going to add in this red. I'm going to start in a different corner though, because I don't want it all to be bulky in that same corner, because it is a little bit bulkier. Like here, this one's nice and neat, right? Because it doesn't have a beginning and an end like it did on the other side. So again, you don't have to start in the corner. You can start at any end or any spot. Just do what you're supposed to do in those spots. So here I'm going to add in the red. So this right here is a slip stitch, this first thing. That doesn't count for anything. But if you wanted to make it your single crochet, you can do that. Just pretend it's a single crochet, go ahead. But I'm going to go back into that same spot, do a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then again single crochet in that same chain 2 space from the previous round. What I was saying when I mentioned about magic circle, just make sure it's really tight and tied in. If you're doing the chain 5 and then hook it to itself and then keep going, it's not as detrimental because that really holds on because you made a loop that is chained together, right? So don't worry about it too much, but yeah, you definitely still want to weave in your ends real well. So we just did our beginning little loop. So again, super easy. Chain 1, 2, 3, and this time you're going to open up that chain 3. All you're going to do is single crochet into each chain 3 space. So single crochet, 1, 2, 3, single crochet. Just try, you know, get it in the middle. It's going to move around because it's just freely moving. If you really wanted it to not move, you would like get into the chain somehow, but I don't like doing that. It's easier just to go 1, 2, 3, right into that space. 1, 2, 3, right into that space. So now you're offsetting your little loops, and the next time we come around with the orange is going to go in here, and here, and here, right? And the next, and still in the chain 3 spaces, but it's going to look a little different. I'm just going to show you till we get to, not the corner, but that one, the corner. I'll show you where the 2 corners meet, because it's going to be the same thing. That's why the first round is a little bit special, because you have to choose where to put it in between those corners right here. So 1, 2, 3, right? That first round we had to set it up that we put the chain 1, the single crochet right in between there. So now we have a chain 3 here that I just used that I totally didn't even realize we're already at the corner. And the next one is here, right? Because we just did that, single crochet, next one. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and keep going. And when I get to the next corner, again, we're going to do single crochet. So I'm going to keep going across. And when we get here, same thing inside that chain 3 loop in the corner. Alright, sorry, there it goes. Right here, we're going to single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in that same loop, and then keep going, just like we did previously. So I don't think it's anything I need to come back and show, but again, you get here, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and move on, right? So I'll be back. Okay, I have my orange ready to go. It looks really bright there. And we're just finishing up with the red. And again, I just did my last chain 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch it in the beginning here, and then you would just keep doing the same thing. So we go in with the orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I'm still not sure at the very end. I kind of want to do maybe something special, so we'll see at the last one, but otherwise you would just keep doing the same chain 3, chain 2, you know, the whole thing. And then I'll show you, like I keep mentioning, that you don't have to add the color in a corner. It just makes it easier. But let's say you like to just add it wherever, or just, like I said, not to keep so much bulk in the corners. Let's say the next round orange, we're going to add it, I don't know, here. just I'm picking something. And we're gonna add it in. Again, slip stitch. And then we're going to do a single crochet. So we have that. Single crochet, chain 1, 2, 3, and then go to the next spot. Oop, pull up your loop, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, single crochet. And then again, when you get to the corners, well, let me go ahead and do this just to show you one more corner. I feel bad saying, oh, okay, I'm just not going to show it because obviously we already done it. But sometimes some people like to see things a couple times. So there's 3, and you're just going to continue putting it in the previous chain 3 space, your single crochet, right, across the whole thing. Hopefully you can kind of see that building up, the different colors. It's pretty. And then when it's all done, it's going to look really nice because it's going to have a lot more weight. So I'll come back when I get to this corner to show you how to do the corner again. Okay, so I'm approaching the next corner. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put this yarn in the back so you don't see it. Okay, so we're here. So we did the 3, and then you're gonna do single crochet into your corner, chain 1, 2, 3, and again single crochet into that same corner. And then 1, 2, 3, and then move across the row just like we've been doing. So I'm going to do this with all the colors, and when I come back we'll start the purple round, which is basically the last round, but hopefully you can see. So as you can see, it opens it up. You have single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in that same thing, so you make a corner stitch. Okay, and so yeah, when I come back I'll have yellow, what do you got, yellow, green, blue done, and we'll finish up, guys. So we're so close. Real quick, I forgot to mention, so when you come back around, just because we started this one differently, but it's basically the same as anything else. So when you come back around, you're just going to slip stitch into your single crochet. So as you come back and you have your loop on here, just go in there just like you did at the beginning. It doesn't matter, it's just a different area to do it in, right? So we slip stitch into our single crochet and then fasten off. So I just want to show you that you don't have to start in a corner, but it's the same ending basically. Just slip stitch into your first single crochet and fasten off, and then you're good to go. Okay guys, so I'm kind of making this part up as it goes along. I haven't even written a pattern, but it's really easy. I mean, you guys get the thing. So here I am basically at the end of this. So as you can see, if you go like this, if you move it, it's like a little netting, and it's really cute. So the last row, I think what I'm gonna do is finish it off with some shells, because why not? But to get to that point, let's do one more row of just purple in the same pattern that we've been doing, right? Which is at the corner, single crochet, 3, chain 3, single crochet, and then a chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, right? But for this one, I'll start on the corner just because I want to talk about the corners. We're going to do it a little bit different in that we're going to chain 5 in the corners, okay? Just so that we can make a bigger shell so it makes a nicer turn. So and hopefully that makes sense. If not, just keep doing what we did and then you're done. The last row can be just this purple and you're done. But let's go ahead and slip stitch that there. Miranda. And then let's go ahead and single crochet in the corner. I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then again single crochet in that same corner, right? So it's a little bit bigger, but again I want this to be a little bigger so that we can make a bigger shell. And then from here, same thing. So 1, 2, 3, chain 3, single crochet in the previous rows, chain 3 space, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So the only thing that's different again with this row is after we do our chain 3, 1 single crochet, is that in the corners we're doing chain 5. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way around and attach it again to the beginning one just like we've been doing. So again, same thing, and then we're gonna come back through and do some shells. Okay guys, so to start the shells, I've been debating this, I've been trying different things. That's why this looks kind of funny, because I'm like, how's the easiest way for me to explain it? And I would almost go backwards so we can start. Anyway, let's just keep going forward, and hopefully it'll make sense. So we're here at the very end, and again I just did my single crochet, so we still need 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to connect it to slip stitch it to our beginning where we started here. So just anywhere in there is fine. So what I was going to show you guys was to go backwards. We're just slip stitching, so we're pulling up our loop and bringing it through. and get it nice and tight is to go backwards over here so we can start back and then go into this. But what I'm going to do is just go for this. So what we're going to do is in every corner we're going to do 7 double crochet. So basically the top of this guy is supposed to be kind of connected over here. You'll see. So we're just going to start with 7 right where it is. I could have slip stitched it in here and start with the 7. Maybe that's what I should do. I was debating different ways to do this. So, okay, so we're here. We just slip stitch so we're connected, right? So I'm going to slip stitch in here, which just means bring up your loop, right? Yarn over, pull your loop through. And what we're going to do is 1, 2, 3 to start my double crochet. So that's going to count as 1. And then I'm going to do 6 more. 1, that's 2, I guess 3, 4, sorry if my TV is too loud in the background. I thought I turned it down enough, but since I just dead air, 5, you can hear it better. 6, double crochet. Oh, that one didn't quite catch, but that's okay. Oopsie. 6, and then 7. So we have a chain 3 that counts as the first, and then 6 more double crochet in that corner. And then what we're gonna do in the next area here. Okay, sorry, I thought I heard one of the kids. So, again, so we did the chain 3, 6 double crochet. So in this next chain 3 space right below that, all we're gonna do is a single crochet. And then we're gonna do, on all these other guys, 5 double crochet. The only 7 double crochet are gonna be in the very corner spaces. So we're just gonna skip. Nothing with these single crochets. Again, just working in the chain 3s. This time we're going to do 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you wanted 4, hold on, 5. If you wanted this to be more frilly, what you can do is in each chain 3 space and in each single crochet, do a single crochet and then do your fan in here. Single crochet, fan in here. Single crochet, fan, or shell. And it'll be kind of like ruffly, right? So this one's going to be a little more subdued. But if you want it to be really standing out and really make a ruffle, you would want to shrink these into spaces that are smaller, okay? So now all I'm going to do is a single crochet in this next opening. And then again in the next chain 3, 5 double crochet, and we're going to do this all the way across until I get to the corner, and then we're going to do 7 double crochet in that corner. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again single crochet into the next chain 3 space, and then again next chain 3 space, we're going to put in 5 double crochet. 1. So it's pretty easy. You're not looking for stitches. You're not looking for a little area to squeeze this into. I try to make this simple so we can get it done quickly. And if you're a beginner, you know, get it done. Actually be motivated to finish it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a very soft shell. Or fan. If you want it, again, tighter, you know, if you put it in here, they'd all be going into that one area, so it'll be much more fan shaped than this is kind of a scallop, I guess, really. Again, just kind of making it up as I go along, so hopefully you guys like this pattern. So single crochet in there, 5 double crochet here, and I will be right back when we get to the corner so that you can see what we need to do in the corner, but it's basically the same thing. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm so excited because at every stage, Miranda's like, is it done? I'm like, no, it's not done. Because, you know, it looked like it was done after this, but then we were doing all these other things. I guess I could have mentioned, the reason we do a purple row, even though most of it's covered up, is that if you go and do this on the blue, you're not going to see much blue. So we did the blue, we did a purple round, and now the purple scallop on the purple round, right? So here we are close to the next chain 5 that we had done for the corner, right? So I'm going to single crochet in here. And then we're just going to 7 double crochet right in, just like we've been doing in every, you know, other space. So 1, well, we've been doing 5, but on this one we're doing 7. 2, 3, 4, oopsie, 5, 6. And that just gives you a nicer corner. You don't have to. If you want to do 5 there too, do 5, you know, but it just looks nicer. And so we just did 7. Double crochet, and then in the next little chain 3 single crochet, And we'll continue with the 5 double crochet in every other one, single crochet in every other one, all around, all across until we get back to the beginning, and we'll be done, except for we have to weave in ends, right? I'm telling you, weave in the ends as you go, you guys. That's kind of why I spaced it out, so obviously it was a cowl anyway, but you want to weave in your ends as you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, and then a single crochet, and I'll continue doing these all the way across, and when I get back we will be back at the beginning. Okay guys, I don't know how to fit this in here. We are back at the beginning. So all we're gonna do is, again, we have this last chain 3 space. I just finished my 5 double crochet, so I'm gonna single crochet in here, and to bring this down, because remember how we started up here, I am just going to slip stitch to the top of my chain 3, okay? So I have the top of the chain 3 from where we began. And we need to be at the top of it because that's basically how we're doing these things. And I'm just going to slip stitch, and I'm going to try to pull it real tight once I get this through here. So pulling tight, tight, tight. I'm going to cut that off. And I always like to pull it through. You can just pull it through however you like. But see how that brings it, basically brings this down. And it does look a little different because obviously we began it the way we did. But that's it. So it's not super noticeable. Now, some people like to do a single crochet around all these, right? And you could do that. You could just attach it and then single crochet on every single one. But to me, this is finished. And maybe I didn't note, whenever I attach the yarn, it's always on the front of the blanket, right? I didn't like turn it around and attach it there. But the back looks really pretty too. So what I'm going to do, I mean, we're done. We have to weave in the rest of our ends. But I hope you guys like this border. It's kind of sweet. Again, it has like that little fishnet look to it with the little scallop border. Let me lay this out on the floor so you can get a good look at it. And we're done. Okay, guys. So obviously it looks a little bit wonky. I just tried to lay it down as best I could. But here it is. So this is it. So I had a lot of fun making it. Hopefully you guys tried along with me. If you had the rainbow colors or just 2 colors, 3 colors, whatever it is that you wanted to use. I think it came out really nicely. Hopefully you can see the edging that's really sweet with the same rainbow effect. This thing always looks really blue in my camera. Hopefully on video it looks blue, but it's super purple. I don't know if you can tell the difference between this one and this one. This is blue, this is purple. But anyway, I had a lot of fun with it. Miranda is just super excited to use this, so I'm just going to weave in some of those ends and get it going. So if there's anything else you guys want to see, I know some people ask for circular projects, stuff like that. I think I have a cap, like how to make like a little pull-on cap with little straps on the side. It's an old video, but maybe I'll link it here in the description box and put it at the end. You guys can check it out. But again, if you want your blanket super perfect, do your blocking. It looks really nice. I just go for it, so I don't bother doing all of that stuff, which we already talked about. But I think it's gonna be really fun, really cute. Miranda's gonna love it. So weave in your ends and you're all done. I'll have the links to the other videos in the description box. At the end here are the links to the pattern. I'm gonna have to write up the finishing, which is really easy. But again, make it your own. Whatever edging you like to do, or no edging, or granny squares, or clusters on the edges, just all around again. I mean, any of those things are great. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.